Whether you're a Class 5 rafter or just looking for a couple of laughs, these two have you covered. Welcome to Aaron and Zach's Better Than Mediocre Rafting Show.
Well, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Welcome to another Aaron and Zach's video review. Are we still video review, or are we just a rafting show now? Aaron and Zach's rafting show, where we talk about rafting or whatever we feel like talking about. We do this every Friday at 2 p.m. live. We love having followers and listeners and whatever you call it, video watchers. And if you're on the show, please leave a comment. And this week we're gonna do a holiday gift guide. What do you think, Aaron? Go through some cool ideas for holiday gifts.
I'm fired up. I'm excited. I feel like you always have a pulse on the cool new river gear stuff. I usually have no idea. I'm like 10 years too late on it. So yeah.
Well, this is the stuff. We'll start with this. This is the stuff that like you probably wouldn't buy for yourself. But if it's a little bit expensive. This is kind of the higher end, like just nice to haves. But if somebody bought it from you, you'd be really happy. And so start with that. And then we have wind footage. I know a lot of you want wind footage. So I ran the wind last week and I couldn't haul myself in. And I know how you make fun of the wind footage, but I think you're gonna like this because there's some cool stuff in here.
Do you eat it? Do you get beat down?
I don't get beat down. No. Is that what you want to see?
Well, I mean, that's about the most exciting thing I could see. That would be fun to see, is you getting beat down. I think that's I think that's why a lot of people come on the show. It's like going to watch NASCAR. You're just waiting to see a beat down.
Would I show it if I got beat? Do you think if I got beat down, I'd be like, "Hey, everybody, look at me"?
You would totally show it. You're humble enough to handle it, and you would talk about it. You definitely would show it. Yeah.
So I'm waiting for that time. So we'll see the footage at the very end. But I have six items. You'll see this is a river knife that's $177. So again, not something you would buy for yourself. But Aaron, if somebody bought this for you, you would be stoked, right?
Well, I don't like the flip out knives, so no, I wouldn't be stoked.
Wait, you still? Oh, you do this. That's your primary knife by the side of your chest.
Yes.
Pull out. All right, that's silly.
Yes. And I don't need more stuff. But having said that, so what's the advantage of this? Is this knife have you used this knife?
Yeah, I bought it and I can't find it, which is frustrating. I have like 7 PFDs because I have one in Idaho, one in Oregon. I have a few at the house. I looked through all of them, but I haven't looked at 2 of them that I don't have right now. So hopefully I still have it. I can't imagine losing it, but it cuts rope like you wouldn't believe. It's the best rope cutting knife I've ever used. It has a long serrated edge, has that blunt tip. It's made for sailing, so it's a strong, it's like doesn't rust. Great handle. It comes in different colors. It's just when you feel this knife in your hand, you're like, oh yeah, this is a knife.
Wait, why didn't this make the list? I thought this wasn't your favorite one. I thought you had a different one as your favorite one.
Well, I have a lot of favorites there, but there's one that I'm using at home that has a black handle that has a pointy end. That's like kind of my favorite around the house and for just doing work in the garage. But as a river knife, I think this one's slightly better. This one's more expensive than that one too. This one's slightly better because it has the blunt tip. And it has that long, straight serrated edge. It's pretty sweet.
Well, I thought you were all about the Gerber Easy Out river knife.
Yeah, if I want to spend $35, that's the one like I would buy for myself. Right? The Gerber Easy Out. It's $35. It does a trick. But if I'm going to buy somebody a gift and I have some money, this is a pretty nice gift. This is going to stoke somebody out. So I think I'm a big fan of this knife. So just keep moving down the train. I got more little ideas. And we're going to move on to, I think we've talked about this one before. Maybe. There it is. And this is a throw bag by Kokatat. Have you seen this throw bag?
It looks like a throw bag. What's so special about it? Maybe make it bigger. Can you go full screen so they can't see our faces? Because it's not that big. Yeah. It's such a little throw bag.
It's I don't know. I mean, it's not perfect. I'm gonna say it's not perfect, but it's really good. It has like, see at the bottom, it's not like a big loop hanging out, get your hand caught in. It's just a tiny little loop at the bottom. It doesn't have a loop. Like you can see that the drawstring is 2 cords, not one circular cord. Again, not something to get your hand stuck in. It's a good quality rope. It's easy to stuff. It's just nice. It's colorful. It's just a good throwback. It's not the thickest rope. I can't remember what the thickness is. If I'm rafting, this wouldn't be my main haul line, but it's a solid throw bag.
Is that like kayaker size, like fit in your kayak raft, or is that full size?
It's fit in your kayak. It's a little small, which is kind of nice for rafting too. Let's
Oh,
see if there's some photos of a
yeah,
context here.
they don't really show the size of it versus a hand, huh?
No, it's not. The one thing I do like about it is, and it has a little. You see this right here. This is the back. It can become a waist belt. There's like a waist belt attachment you can get to those little gray things go through, so you can run it as a waist belt. I've been calling this throw bag the IRF killer because for passing the IRF test, this is the throw bag you want because it's light, it's easy to stuff, it's easy to work with. It's really, we found that when trying to pass the test, this was probably the best one to pass the test with.
And 2,500 pounds, it takes 2,500 pound force. That's good enough.
Yeah,
that's a strong throw bag.
It's going to help.
Cool.
It's getting a person out of the water. You could pull a raft, like you could line a raft with it. You could do most things with it, right? You just like maybe a 3-to-1 might be kind of silly with this. I wouldn't do a 3-to-1 with this personally.
Why not? If you're like one person on a 3-to-1, it would make sense.
With 1 or 2 people, yeah, it's going to stretch a bit. So when you pull on the 3-to-1, you're going to pull a lot of stretch out of the rope because it's not super stiff. But it would do the trick in something small, like if you're getting a kayak unpinned or a ducky. Yeah. But like a gear boat, this is definitely not even close.
No, it's just too short a line, 270 feet. You're going to have a hard time getting to the boat and doing all that. Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, see, Chris, he has the waist belt version. It's a great bag. Again, not something. It's not super spendy. It's $100 for a throw bag, which is a little bit expensive. It's not something you would necessarily buy for yourself, but it's. I bought one for myself because I do this for a living, so of course I did. Like if you already have a throw bag, it's kind of an eccentric extra thing, but it is nice when you have one. So I think I know what this is, John. Let's look at this up really quick. Petzl Rat. I think I know what this is. I think it's silly. That's my opinion. I can tell you right now. I think it's like basically a Z-rig in a bag, like it's a pre-Petzl Rat system. It's a pre-rigged Z-rig system. Yeah. It comes in a bag.
Can you make it? Yeah, make it big. Make it big.
Let's see what loads up. Yeah, Petzl's website's slow, so it's already a knock against them. It's $400. It's designed for like glacier rescue, which, if I'm doing rescue, if I'm setting out to do rescue, this thing is kind of nice. If I'm setting out to do rescue, but it's this there's not many photos. It's this bag that has like all the stuff you need to tie the anchor and quickly have a Z-rig ready to go. And what do you think, Aaron, before I bag on it?
Well, I'm going to say this is I think I have 2 main comments. The first one is, in general with the Z-Drag, I think you should never be in a rush to set up a Z-Drag. I think it's good it takes you time to set it up because it shouldn't be something you're jumping to right away. It's never a quick solution anyways. And if you need to have it come out that quick, that's a problem. And I would say this, my second concern is if you don't know how to set it up, I don't want you using it. If you don't even remember how to set it up and can't set it up.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You're putting a lot of force into the system. And then I would be concerned also, actually a third thing about this, when the boat does come off, is this designed for that situation? Because if it's designed for pulling people out of crevasses, you're not worried about when the person comes out of the crevasse. Versus when you're pulling a boat off a rock, once that boat comes up and starts shooting downstream, what's going to happen to the system? Is it designed for that? And I think the loads that you do pulling someone out of a crevasse are a lot less than the loads you're putting on a raft.
I mean, this stuff's all rated correctly, I believe. I don't know about the rope.
What is it rated to? The rope doesn't look that big.
The rope doesn't look that big, but I think, Trevor at Raft Magazine, I have a hard time scrolling now that I'm where I'm at. Trevor at Raft Magazine did a review of this because he went to some show. Sorry, maybe you can Google it, Aaron.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up.
I'm stuck. But let me talk about it really quick while you do that. First of all, I think that pulleys, prussics, and carabiners are way more versatile than just 3-to-1s.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's 2-to-1s. There's tie rolling traverses. There's the lines across the river, or whatever, tension diagonals. So, like pulleys. This is saying, hey, pulleys, prusiks, and carabiners are only for 3-to-1s. Well, that's not the case. They have so many uses, right? And so it's basically making this a one-trick pony. And then it's using, I don't know if you see this, Aaron, but that top pulley is it has a name. It has a traction device in it, right? So it's like a pulley built in, so it self grips, and that bottom part is a tib lock, and so it uses like little spikes to go into the rope, right? And not everybody's super like able to use a tib lock, which is the bottom thing. The top one that has a name for it, I forget what it's called, but they're unique pieces of equipment. And once the top one, when it locks in, it's hard to release. You can release it, but it's hard. And so, like to your point, like when the boat comes off, it's going to lock in backwards. And so it's not standard items. Where I'm a big fan of, like, let's all have the standard stuff: prusiks, carabiners, pulleys. They can do a variety of things with them, and they're things that everybody are trained with and familiar with. Once you pull this out, you're the only one trained or familiar with it, and so things could happen that are, you have to be running it. So if you want to be the person whose big picture scene safety, who's up on a rock, who's running the thing, you can't, because you have to be down running this equipment. You can't say, hey, you three go do a standard thing, because this is not standard.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Micro traction.
I mean, I'm going to say if someone had it on a trip, I would use it, but I don't think I would. I think the cost, and like you said, it's not like it's not as adaptable.
It's not adaptable for sure.
Yeah.
That top pulley is called a micro traction. I carry a micro traction in my safety kit now because I think it's cool. I've never used it, and I don't think I ever would use it because I'd be the only one that knows what it even is. You have to explain to everybody, hey, by the way, that pulley, when you pull on it, it's going to lock it in, and it could cause some miscommunication.
Yeah. John, you asked a great question. I like having a static line as a throw bag. I think, like, what were they, the Spectra lines? I'm very into the Spectra lines and like the full-size throw bag. Zach always makes fun of me, but I love the NRS throw bag because of the NRS Pro throw bag, because it has that really nice line on it that you can whale on it. So I do like that.
What rope is this there? Did you find out what rope this is?
Oh, no, I couldn't. No, I looked and it was like,
okay.
I got like download. You got like download a PDF, and I was just like, this is.
You want, in river situations, you want your ropes to be static. You don't want dynamic. But the problem is cheaper ropes have more give. So you want a rope. I want the most static rope I can get. But I don't always like the Spectra ropes because they're stronger and they have less give. But there's other downsides to them. Like they have lowering. I think they have the outside has a lower melting temperature, so you can, like, if the prusik pulls really hard on it, it's more likely to melt the outside, and they're harder to grip. And so a lot of times with the Spectra ropes, it's a trade-off between grip and strength. And what's more important? I'm gonna say grip, because you don't ever break ropes. You're more worried about, can you actually grab the rope? So that's my way of saying I want a static line in a throw bag. I mean, I don't mind if it's a Spectra or a fancy rope, but there's some downsides to those too.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, that's all a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm pulling up the PDF now too and looking at it. It's a 12-page PDF.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, geez.
Aaron, that rope you like in the NRS throw bag, I actually love that rope.
I know you do. Yeah. I
love that rope because it's strong, it's stiff, and it has good grip. It's a Sterling rope. It's not an NRS rope. It's a terrible NRS bag that they put really good Sterling rope into.
Well, I think the bag is whatever. The bag's a bag, and you can throw the bag. I'm not worried about it. I like that rope. I like that setup. And so, yeah.
I'm not worried about the smaller diameter, other than it's hard to grab a small diameter.
Yeah. Like I feel like I have two of them too. I've got the bigger one that's the full size, like rafting one, and then I got the kayaking with the smaller diameter. And it's harder to hold on to the rope. That's true, but not, like you said, it's not that hard, and you usually can. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, this is a great little conversation on these things. It's cool. I think it's really neat. But But yeah, I guess I'm a traditionalist. I'm old school.
I think, and so I think John was mentioning the rope in this bag is smaller diameter. I have a super small diameter static line that I bring on like super light missions, and there can be super small diameter ropes. The problem is you're not going to be able to pull on that rope. But if you have a prusik, you can put a prusik on that rope, and then you have a handle. And so when I bring the super small diameter rope, I bring some prusiks, and I use the prusiks to pull on the smaller rope.
Hmm. Yeah, you bet, John. I'm glad you appreciate it. Yeah, that's an interesting idea with the prusiks. I mean, you could also, I mean, if you need to, you could also tie like butterfly knots in it or something like that.
Exactly. There's something that you can attach to, because you really can't pull the rope, but because it's so thin. I mean, you can, but it's almost useless. But if you had something on the rope you can pull on, or like you know those fancy flip lines I have, you could wrap that around the thin rope and use it as a prusik, and also have two people pull on that. Just something to think about. All right, next is this. Aaron, we talked about this PFD a bit. I've wore it on the show a couple times. Is it showing up right now? Oh, there it
is. Yeah, it is. I mean, Zach, I can't believe you're recommending this.
Well,
have you ever worn this on the river?
Yeah, the wind video. Watch it. I'm wearing it.
You know, you don't wear this. People make fun of you if you wore this thing.
I mean, somebody did call me a safety squirrel that day. They're like, "Wow, you're really a safety squirrel." It does look dorky, but I mean, what's more important, Aaron? Floating or looking dorky?
Well, you know my comment. I'd say floating is more important.
25 pounds of flotation.
That's good. I like the flotation. Do they make one without the rescue harness on it?
They don't, but I'm strongly urging them to. And actually, Mustang, they're working on some new PFDs, and I was like, and they're taking longer than they thought because of the extra time they have to put into the rescue harness. I'm like, why just don't put it on there? Like,
yeah,
make it cost less and get it through. People
don't need
you
don't need the rescue harness. Like, just do a non-rescue harness version. Yeah.
So this is designed for firefighters, for like rescuers, not for like, it's not designed for boaters.
Yep.
But I've been boating with it. It's not, I mean, it's less comfortable than a comfortable PFD. Right? Like I'm always like, it's a little bit bulky, but that's because there's so much flotation. And so in terms of protecting my body from the oars hitting it or falling out and swimming, I'm liking this PFD. The one thing I really don't like, there's a handle right here on the back. I don't even see it. There's a handle. So I asked Mustang why they did that, and they said, "Oh, so you could put this on a victim, and then pull them out with a handle." Which I was like, that seems sort of.
Can't you just grab it by the shoulder strap?
That's what I asked them, but they didn't have an answer for it.
Yeah. No, I think the handle, that's sketchy, particularly
the handle's
for
like
whitewater.
an entrapment. Yeah,
that's like you don't need that. Yeah. Let's have a dangling loop on the back that you can't reach easily. That's really strong, so you can. Yeah.
So I mean, again, this is like, it's kind of, they're hard to find. Like Mustang sold out. I think this company has some for sale. If you have somebody who you care about them floating, you want them to float, and especially people like me that are bigger. You got us bigger guys who we want the flotation. Maybe buying a friend of yours this is a gift could be a pretty cool Christmas gift.
I'm going to say, Zach, even your friends who are smaller, if you care about them, you want them to have flotation.
For sure, but I'm more so for bigger. I think us big guys in these tiny PFDs is kind of silly.
Yeah, definitely.
On harder stuff.
I think any size, if you can, more flotation is better. I mean, gosh, man, I was just thinking back in the 90s, the commercial PFDs had 32 pounds of flotation, and now we're down to 22. Ooh, what is this?
Again, this is just do you like it? I like this jacket.
Who makes this?
Kokatat. It's a really nice Gore-Tex. I think it's sort of made for sea kayaking a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to wear this skiing or anything, but as just a nice, even not even on the river, even a nice. It has cuffs on the hands, right? So it's like half rain jacket, half paddling jacket, and I like this jacket a lot.
It's really short on the waist.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I like them longer on the waist. I mean, it's designed to be like a paddling jacket because then it kind of goes over the top of your shorts a little bit. And then if you're wearing like paddling pants or something like that, it just goes down a little farther on them.
They have some that I think I think it's a little. It's they're less expensive. There's this one. This one's kind of cool. It looks high in the waist too, actually. But these just look like these would be great. That's a dry top actually. It looks like with like a neck gasket.
Mm.
If that last jacket's $400, it's not something I would ever buy for myself because it's expensive. But if somebody got it as a gift, I'd be like, it's kind of nice. And like this is the less expensive version. It's their own proprietary fabric. It's not Gore-Tex, but it's you bring it on a trip. You have like a paddle jacket for the river, and this for camp. But this can double for your paddle jacket on the river if you lose it or it gets super wet or something.
I'm gonna say if you're planning on using your camp jacket, you want it to zip all the way down in the front.
Why?
Because you don't want to always put it on and take it off over your head. You can get more air by having it unzip. I like a full zip. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind either. I don't mind that. I don't mind taking off and on. And I think pullovers look cooler, personally. Like I think it looks tough when it's
I just there's a functionality. It's just nice to be able to like unzip.
But Aaron, like let's say it might rain one day of your trip. This is a nice thing. It'd be like
for $400, Zach, really?
It's Kokatag Gore-Tex. So yeah. And that's what Chad's saying. Yeah, Chad, I mean that's the whole thing. You wouldn't buy this for yourself, but if somebody got it for you for Christmas, you'd probably be like,
I'm not that big. I don't think so. No.
I mean, what do people get? I mean, when I get Christmas gifts, a lot of times, sorry, I have dogs fighting behind me. When I get Christmas gifts, a lot of times I'm like, thanks. Cool.
Zach, here's the question. What's your favorite rain gear right now? Who makes your favorite rain gear? What's the name of that Canadian company you like?
Arc'teryx.
Would you rather have an Arc'teryx rain jacket or that?
I think that personally. Because
okay,
I love
how much
America.
was your Arc'teryx rain jacket?
Well, my Arc'teryx rain jacket is more like an ice climbing jacket that I use for when it rains. And I don't even use it for when it rains. I use it for when I'm like.
Okay, how much does that one cost?
It was more, probably. I don't remember.
Really?
No. Those are the nice Arc'teryx.
I agree, Chad. Yeah, $400 for that. I was like, there's a lot of better rain jackets out there than that thing. That's not.
Yeah, no, hey.
It doesn't have like pit zips on it or anything like that. You're just gonna get hot in there and like, man, no.
This is a jacket that will last your lifetime. Not this one, the $400 one. It's a jacket that will look like
I'm not. I would say terrible idea. I would be kind of bummed if I'd try to take it back and get something else.
No way. You'd be like, dude, it's a great jacket. It's one of those things again you wouldn't buy for yourself, but if somebody bought it for you, it's like, God, I have a sweet jacket.
Zach, I'm glad you're not buying me a gift this year.
How do you know I'm not buying you a gift?
Well, I hope you're not buying me a gift as I'm going through this so far. So far, I've not been that impressed. Ooh, now this.
Again, luxury item, right? Big time luxury item. A sweep protection rocker. Right? This is, I'm going to say, the best helmet for whitewater out there.
Well, okay, what's number 2? I'm curious because like after sweep protection,
brand or which helmet?
Brand after sweep protection. What's number 2 brand?
I would call 3 of their helmets 1, 2, and 3.
Okay,
this was number 1, and then their other one that's not as expensive. That's not the rockers, but there's one that's close to this. This number 2, and the Strutter is number 3. The Strutter is the one that has the fancy bill I wear a lot. Next brand after sweep, it's a big gap. It's like sweep protection, and then probably WRSI, maybe.
Okay.
There's some better companies WRSI. There's like, I don't even know, but there's like sweep protection's way above everybody else.
That's what I was wondering because I was looking around because I was trying to buy Lindsay helmet a while back, and I ended up getting her a sweet helmet. And I was like trying to find something. I was like, man, the sweet are really expensive. She's not going to boat that much. She's not a kayaker, it's just for rafting. But I landed on a swim helmet, not this one, but the one with not the one with the ear protection, the one without the full ear.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. It's like, it's close. It's a great helmet too. But I mean, these cost twice as much as everybody else, and they're twice as good. These ones in particular are really nice. And I mean, what they have like they're comfortable. They have thermal protection. They have thermal ear things come off and on. So if it's cold weather, you can wear the thermal ear things. If you want to take them off, you don't have to have the ear covers. And yeah, I mean, they'll take a hit pretty hard. It has a really nice visor over the top, and it's just quality. And they have a variety of colors. Like I have a red one, but if you want a bright one, you can get that yellow one. if you want to camouflage with the river, there's that nice turquoise blue one.
What do you think's more more camouflage, white or blue?
I think white, actually. I was joking. It depends on river. If you're in the Foo, that turquoise blue one probably camouflage pretty well with the Foo. But I think I saw a test of colors. I remember white being particularly bad.
Yep, that's what I remember being too.
Yeah, it's white water. We're in white water, so that kind of makes sense.
Yeah. So WRSI, you think is the second after this, but I agree. Zach. I think that's a great gift too for someone, particularly your friend's got that old janky helmet that needs a new helmet that's all sun faded. You're like, dude, you hit a rock, that thing's just gonna explode. That's a really nice gift. Yeah.
And somebody every time they put it on, they'll think of you like, man, Aaron bought me this baller helmet. He loves me. And when you put this helmet on, you're like, I'm happy, and you look cool. These things look cool. Actually, I had a white one for a while that made me look like a stormtrooper because I have a big fat head, and so when I put this big, extra large white helmet over the top, I looked like a stormtrooper. So I sold the white one and got the red one.
You didn't like looking like a stormtrooper?
No, I looked like a fat stormtrooper. It was not. I didn't like it at all. Yeah, I wasn't in.
All right, that's a great Zach. If you gave me that, I'd be pretty psyched. If I got
over the jacket.
Oh yeah, the jacket. I'd be like, what the, Zach? What did he get some deal on this? Did they give it to him? What's the? All right.
All right, so here we go. This is Feathered Friends down jacket, and so, I mean, for those of you that
you're wearing right now, that's the one I commented on when we got on. Nice jacket, right?
I'm wearing it for the show. It's cold out, but also because I don't know, I want people to see what the jacket. This is a great jacket. Now, a lot of you are like, got to get my Patagonia puff, and that's cool. You can have all the Patagonia puff you want. But if you want to, why can't I get there we go. This is, so you're not like everybody else. You know how when you go paddling and everybody has the same Patagonia puff jacket or Arc'teryx, whatever. This is like niche and better. A Feathered Friends jacket is pretty sweet. It's a small company up in Seattle. They pretty much only do down, and it's not like super techy. Like it doesn't, it's not super techy. It's just really warm.
And I feel like if I remember correctly, they've been around since the early 70s, and they stand behind their gear. Like they'll still like add more, like their sleeping bags. We'll refill them with which
you can send it back and get more down, put in it. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. No, I've heard really good things about Feathered Friends. Like it's kind of like the secret, super cool sleeping bag to have. You have a Feathered Friends, you're like, ooh, that's a nice sleeping bag.
But only a few people know, right? Like everybody has their Marmots and their North Faces, and they see your Feathered Friends, like, oh, that guy must have got that at Kmart. Like you're not showing off how rad you are, but you are rad. Right? Like a lot of people won't know how cool you are.
Yeah, it's a great company too. Yeah.
So I mean, Aaron, if a friend bought you this jacket,
I historically would be psyched. Right now, living where I do.
Oh, in Hawaii, you don't need a down jacket.
Yeah, I don't need a down jacket, so I'd be like, oh, cool, thanks.
But when you go do that early season Selway trip, when it's cold and snowing. I mean, this is to me the jacket you want on like a super cold river trip because it packs small, it's down, packs small, and when it's just super cold, you throw this on and you don't have to worry too much. I know if it gets wet, it's gonna clump up and not keep you warm, but I mean, man, when it's really cold out on a cold morning to make coffee at 6 a.m, this is pretty sweet. Yeah, it doesn't take up a lot of space. It doesn't take a lot of space in your dry bag.
Mm-hmm. So, is this the end of your list?
Yeah, that's it. Do you have a list?
Well, I got two things, and I'm there. Yeah. I wasn't specific, like pulled up like you, but I think more people need paddling pants.
Oh, dude, you have some good paddling pants?
I don't have a good pair, and if somebody knows a good pair of paddling pants,
I do. A Stolquist. I don't think they still make it. I have these.
Stolquist?
Yeah, they have the best paddling pants in my mind.
I was nursing my Patagonia. My Patagonia ones were the best. Those Patagonia ones.
No, these. I know those. I used to have the same ones, but I think these Stolquist ones are the best. Stolquist stopped making a lot of items recently. Let's see if this is it. So they may have stopped making it, but they have padded knees. I think.
I like the ones that they're really lightweight. They pack down really small. They're just coated nylon. You can throw them in the bottom of your dry bag. You can pull them anytime you get cold and just throw them on.
Rain pants. So
And
you want rain pants. Those Patagonia ones are rain pants. They're just
I want
fancy
rain
pants.
pants, gusseted rain pants with the gussets around the ankles and a gusset around the waist. But the packs down. That's what I liked about that Patagonia. It was really lightweight. You pack down.
Is this wait, Steve? Is this my Belay parka that he's talking about? This one?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I mean, you could get it for $400 from Feather Friends. Oh, IR makes some good pants too. So I mean, everybody makes good. I mean, Coconut.
Yeah, that's right. I have a pair of IR pants, and I like them. They're actually pretty darn good. I do appreciate those, and I think that's the best ones I've seen out there. So that's
Aaron. These are my favorite because they have padded knees, and so when it's raining out and you got to like get on your knees and start a fire, or you're just like.
Why do you get on your knees, Zach? Why don't you just crouch?
You just do.
Zach, I'm going to say this for a long time now, humans have squatted. That's what we're supposed to do. Squat.
Hey, Aaron, I can squat. I can squat.
Just squat.
I'm not with you, but it's just really nice to have padded knees. It's just there's so many times because you don't just wear these on the river. You wear them in camp, and so you're not going to squat.
But why are you? Wait, I'm not.
When you're blowing on a fire. Yeah, when you're blowing on fire, you're not going to squat and like blow on a fire to get started.
Yes, all the time. Squat.
No, you're not. You can't start a fire. You must not start fires.
Do the power squeeze.
Yeah, we start fires differently. I know the power squeak. It's super nerdy. I'm not gonna even.
This thing works so well.
You just get in there, get in real close, and blow in the right spot. But the padded knees also like boating. It's just it's really nice to have. I'm just gonna say. They're bulky. They take up more space.
They take up more space. They're heavier. Yeah. They take longer to dry. All those
Stoquist ones are thicker too. Like the ones all the normal ones are like a little thinner. They're just thicker and they're more durable. I'm a big fan of the Stoquist ones.
I like the ones that can fit in my dry bag, pull them out, throw them on, and wear them. Okay. They dry out really fast. And then, like I said, I really like them is on days where you're wearing a wetsuit and it's cold. You put them over your wetsuit. It's not as nice as having a dry suit, but I'm almost as warm. Like almost.
Yeah, but
put this over the top. So
yeah,
huge fan. Love them for kayaking. They're just great everywhere. I think a pair of paddling pants. If you have a friend who likes to boat, particularly in the spring or the fall, paddling pants are great to have. So that's
research. This is called basic paddling pants. $55. I'm just you want something like this?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, coated nylon. Yep. Yeah, just a solid paddling pant. I think they're great. Yeah.
Or I have the Zephyr pants. What about the Zephyr pants? I think they cost $5 more.
I'd have to look at the difference between
the two. According to the photo, they look stylish. That's a better photo.
I have a pair of IR pants. I forget where I got them, and I like them. They're good.
What's this? Sawbriar waders?
So it's got feet in them.
And a little P-zipper thing? That's cute. Oh, that's cool. Huh.
Yeah.
IR has some cool stuff. They definitely have a lot of great stuff.
All right.
What else you got there? Anything else?
You know what? I think if you've got a friend who doesn't have a skull cap,
no, I'm not even. No, we're not even going to talk about that.
That's a great stocking stuffer
for nerds. Like
what are you talking about? I mean,
I don't know.
That's my photo for the show. That's my photo for the show.
I know. I get it. I know. That's why I put it on there because you're looking at a nerd. Like the thing about the skull caps, they keep your head a little bit warmer. But if you get that sweet protection helmet, you don't need that. That sweet protection helmet has this stuff built in.
Yeah, I like the skull cap not just for myself, though, Zach, because I care about those around me, and I just bring it on every trip. Even in summer Grand Canyon trips, I have the skull cap, and people will get cold on certain days, and I'll just give them to put it on. They'll be like, "Oh, I'm so much warmer now." You're like, "Yep." It's a nice thing. It's an easy piece of gear to share. Takes up no space. And
really people want to wear it. You say, "Hey, here, try this on," and they're like, "Oh, I want to wear that thing." It's even though it's been on your head for the past 20 days.
They're like cold. I'm like, here, try this, and they'll put on. They're like, how you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm way warmer.
That's why I give them a beanie.
On the river?
Yes.
When you're rafting?
They're
getting splashed with that? Doesn't make any sense, Zach.
How splashed do people really get rafting? Like, and then just like on the flats on the Grand Canyon, wear the beanie, and they're apt to take it off, put it somewhere, get wet, and then put that thing back on. A beanie's warmer, of like a wool beanie. And if it's wool, it's fine.
The skull cap is great. And then but I'm going to say you want the skull cap with the little strap on that you can pull down snug so it covers your ears and keeps the wind from blowing your ears.
Yeah. So this is where I'm at with it too.
Totally agree.
I had that same skull cap you had, Aaron, that old Patagonia one. And I wore it once and I couldn't hear, and I said, I'm not doing this again. I'd rather be able to hear than have my head be warm.
I can't hear when I'm kayaking anyways. It's pretty good kayaking. The river's so loud, you can't hear people. And if I'm guiding, I don't need to hear you anyways. You just need to listen to me and do what I say.
No, that's not true. That's not true. You got to hear what people just say. You want to have conversation with them. Like, that's nonsense.
No, you can still hear them.
I mean, here's the difference. Like, it's got the skull cap or beanie. I'm just going to say the skull cap looks nerdy. I mean, you're a water polo coach. You guys wear those like caps all the time. You think it looks cool. But the rest of us want to wear a beanie and look cool.
The skull cap is, I think the skull cap is an amazing piece of gear. One of the best pieces, cheapest, best piece of safety gear you can carry with you.
Cool. Good story, Aaron. What else you got?
Those are my two.
Oh, okay. Good job.
I think a nice pair of paddling pants, because so many people need paddling pants who don't have them, and get your friends a skull cap. Because even with your cool helmet, if you're cold, you put the skull cap on underneath that helmet.
It won't fit. It's too thick. That thing's too thick.
And it protects your ears from like the cold water. Like that's why I really liked it for kayaking, is it's kind of stopped that water from going in my ears so much, so deep. So
I'm getting some video ready. The wind video for us to finish up. Shred Ready has great helmets too. The Shred Ready just got bought though. I forget by who.
Ooh.
And we have Shred Ready for commercial trips, and they have some cool helmets too. I'd say equivalent to WRSI. I don't know.
Shred Ready, their coverage just isn't that good. I feel like their helmets look cool. They cover the top of your head. I feel like they're more like a climbing helmet. They like sit up top here and they cover from hits here, but nothing from the side.
Yeah, I mean, Blue Puma. This is a tough question, I think, because I mean, honestly,
what do you mean? Easy question.
No,
Function.
No. Nah.
Okay, yeah, we're talking to the man who likes to row with the scarf on.
Why are you wet? Like a wet dogs. Yeah, it's fashion. I mean, you do want to look. I mean, I'm not a fashionista, but like, it's nice to look good out there. You know, like you need some fashion. You can't look like look at me in this video right here. I look like a tool bag. So like,
what kind of dry suit is that, by the way?
It's a Mustang dry suit.
Dude, are you a Mustang ambassador now? What's going on here? Is this why you're pushing Mustang products?
I mean, I'm not. I don't think somebody at Mustang said I'm an ambassador. Like they said those words, but there's no meaning to it. Like I don't know even what that means. They just use those words. Oh, you're an ambassador for us. So I have no whether they make whether they sell or not sell more stuff doesn't affect me. The dry suit was a prototype dry suit. I've been rocking for a couple of years. It's sick. It has the wrist gaskets are neoprene, which is really cool, and it has padded knees, which I'm a big fan of padded knees.
The neoprene wrist gaskets, does it have anything over the top, a secondary layer, or is it just the one layer?
Yeah, you see that yellow thing in my wrist? That covers the neoprene. So
but it has a Velcro. It has a Velcro over the top.
A Velcro closure, yeah.
Okay, it has a Velcro because it was open. That's why I couldn't tell. I just saw it over the top.
I don't think they sell this exact dry suit yet, but
so the neoprene wrists. Have you taken a lot of swims in it? Does it hold the water out well?
Yeah, I've taken a couple swims.
And then my next question is like, do the neoprene wrists work as well with the same range of sized wrists that the latex would?
Yeah, it's actually better than latex. I think it's stretchier. It's easier to come off and on. Yeah, and it's like stretchier. My only concern is it's like starting to have wear. Neoprene wears differently than it doesn't just go. It's just like there's little like pieces missing, and I don't know replacing. I'm not sure how that's going to work. But this is sweet. I'm pretty happy with this dry suit. There's some downsides to it. It's one long zipper. And so instead of like a P zipper, it's just one long zipper, which is smart. But if you're wearing a PFD, you have to take your PFD on to go pee and open your whole dry suit.
Well, you have to does the zipper finish in the front or the back?
It finishes in the back. Yeah, actually be smart if it finished down there because you just open it up. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, you gotta take everything off. And like if you're sailing, it's not a big deal. Right? A lot of their stuff is for sailing, but for boating, you gotta get undressed almost to go pee.
The over shoulder thing's kind of interesting though, just to pee after just in the front and you just like zip and then Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
There's some cool innovations. I like this dry suit a lot, but we're not here to talk about the dry suits. Let's go through these questions really quick. Cold water gloves. I mean, I've never used them, but the Mustang one looks cool. They look cool.
You know what works really well? Dish gloves.
Yeah, Aaron. Function over fashion.
I'm serious. Pair of dish gloves. They work amazingly well. And if you got a thin pair of those thin, like sock type of, mitten things, 5-fingered ones, put those underneath it. Oh yeah. So warm. Stick it into your paddling jacket, close it down. That's basically what those people do isn't that what those guys do when they're sailing up in Alaska?
I don't know. It sounds awful to me. It just sounds cold to me. I rarely wear gloves. I can't remember the last time I have.
I think the Glacier gloves. I know a lot of people like the Glacier gloves. They say they have good dexterity, and they're pretty nice.
Yeah. NRS makes a whole bunch of gloves. I see people with them. They like them. It seems like the NRS gloves are kind of a no-brainer.
I'm gonna say this though too is that the neoprene hand warmers, neoprene sun paws I wear that cover the back of your hands.
Yeah.
I'm amazed how much warmer my hands stay by using those. Because it just cuts down the wind a lot, and they come to here on my fingers, and they don't cover my palms at all. But when I'm paddling or rowing, my hands are holding something anyway, so I still got good dexterity. And I don't find I need gloves when I have those on. And the other thing that I'll say is, this is from skiing in Jackson in the winters. If your hands are cold, a lot of times if you just wear more on your core, your hands will stay warmer. That helps a lot.
Yeah, I found it good.
If having enough warmth on your core really helps keep your hands better. So
I found a good page with a bunch of gloves. You see this? So these gloves, these guide gloves, they're more protect your hands from blisters. If you're a guide, you have blisters. So see, they have Mustang stuff here too now. Kind of same thing. These gloves, these ocean racing gloves, look pretty cool to me, and they have a little bit of finger protection. So NRS used to have some gloves with plastic things on top of the fingers, and so if you took it over the finger, it was a little when I was running the wind, a lot of the guys cataracting the wind had the NRS ones with the body armor on top of the fingers. I think they stopped making them though. But these are I like these. They look cool, but I've never used them. And Mustang is a thoughtful company. It's like Coca-Tap, but in Canada. These NRS Hydro skins are just thin. So if you want just a quick thin glove, I think those are pretty cool. Maverick gloves, I like the name. Coca-Tat those look cool. Some fingerless gloves, more Hydro skin gloves. Toaster mittens. I don't think I would personally enjoy those, but I like the idea.
Zach, what do you think of when you're paddling, of using the kayak paddle pogies on your hands?
Yeah, I've seen people do it. I haven't tried it. I don't think I would like it. I just deal with the cold. I just deal. I blow my hands and go. I do this a lot, and I warm them up and go. And only the coldest of circumstances I wear gloves, and I just deal. But I see people use pogies. It doesn't seem like a good idea to me, but I have no idea.
I like having my hands directly on the paddle. It feels too weird. I feel like I have a horrible.
I can't kayak. Well, kayaking, I can't with gloves. I can't use gloves. It's just too weird. Rowing, I've used gloves and it's fine. But kayak paddling I want to touch the paddle. Quick questions. We have to finish this up. Comfortable helmet. Any of the sweet helmets. Yeah, that rocker is super comfortable. I wear the Strutter, which is the cool guy one. It's a little bit.
Is that the one where you're gonna cut someone's spinal cord in half if you get thrown into him? Your paddle captain behind him.
Yep, that one. Yeah. It has a baseball cap brim, but it's really comfortable. It's pretty protective. It looks super cool.
You definitely look cool wearing it. You do look cool.
If I want to look cool, I'll wear that one. If it's class 3, 4, I'll wear that one. If I care about my safety, I'll wear the other one. I like the Kinko Frost. Oh, cool. Never heard of them.
Oh, thanks, Chris.
Peter, there is zipper lubricant. It's called Z-Zip
it's wax. You put wax on it too. Well, there's two things. There's the wax you put on the actual zipper, and then there's for the seal, right? There's Aren't you just use wax? I thought they used to use beeswax. Basically.
There's like a little tube, maybe it's wax, but it's called like T-zip or something zip that's made for those.
Well, you're talking about for the T-zipper. The T-zipper is different than the thicker metal one.
I don't know. I've just put this stuff on both.
Yeah, I think you can just put like a beeswax. I think like Cocotet used to send you a little piece of beeswax to rub on it.
Yeah. And I mean now the PFDs, all the stuff I have with zippers now comes with this little T-zip thing. Let me see if I can find it. I'm just Googling this for you too. Dry suit zipper T-zip. Is that what it's called? Let's see. Here's Tech Zipper, Zip Tech. Magnet Zipper Tech Zipper. Here we go. T-zip Master Seal. Let's see. Found it. Oh, that's the name of the zipper. I don't know. I think it says T's. I don't know. But if you Google it, you'll find a really cool zipper thing.
Here, if you go to Cocotet product use and care, they say light coat of paraffin wax. Yeah.
Morgan, is this the Morgan I used to run the wind with, like way back, like 10 years ago? Jim, we were just talking about you if it is. And Morgan we used to run the wind in cold weather a lot. I don't know if it's the same Morgan, but yeah, I mean, they work. I think it's weird personally, but yeah.
You can get them on your oar handles. Wow.
Yeah, you put the pogey over the oar, and then you row with the pogies on the oar. There's a reason I don't like it. Oh, I'm shipping. Like I ship a lot, so right, if it's like this, and then you go to you can't ship because your hand position changes. It's just weird shipping. And so if you want to ship correctly, it's hard with pogies. John, that's a great idea. That's a really good idea.
Yeah, Zach, Cocotet says lubricate occasionally with a light coat of paraffin or beeswax for the metal tooth zipper. For plastic watertight zippers, use like the tech stuff that you're talking about.
Okay. Cool. All right, let's get to this one video and close this show down. So, I'm having a hard time struggling here. Share screen. There we go.
Non-flavored chapstick.
That's a good idea. All right, can you see the video? Yeah, you can see the video.
Oh, here we go.
So here's the situation. We're on the wind. I'm in a raft. Birdie's in a cat. I think we had 5 kayakers. 2 of the kayakers were competent. 3 of the kayakers were competent but didn't know the lines and were a little bit over their heads. Like, AKA, 3 of the kayakers had potential to swim, and then 2 of the kayakers knew the lines. I wasn't too worried about them. They were fine.
Hey, on this NRS frame, how do you feel about the kick bar? Would you want the kick bar lower?
What do you mean kick? Oh,
where your feet
the one in front of me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was in kind of a rush this day, and so I didn't adjust this frame for me. I just ran with how it was. But
what I mean is like
this is something what they come with?
I was talking to Adam Crom about this, and we were talking about trying to get some creek frames made. And we talked about the NRS ones, and he's like, I like it, everything. He's like, but the kick bar in the front for your feet doesn't go low enough. So your feet are really high. So he feels like you don't have a good balance. He actually had a separate kick bar built that went farther down just so we'd have his center of gravity would be better.
I mean, if you're running a Cherry Creek boat, yeah, because the tubes are big, right? So on a big tube boat, but like we use these mostly on 13s, smaller tubes. So for this style of boat, this size, I like.
He's on his 13. He's on his 13 on his 10. That's what it's actually for his 10-footer that he said it didn't go low enough for.
I'm super happy with it. It's fine. I could see that. I mean, this is one frame that works for pretty much everything. Like this is just this frame. I feel like is a one size fits all, like adjustable. And so I feel like if it went lower, there's some boats it would be too low for. So I think NRS did a good job of like finding the happy medium here. And maybe Adam just needs to be lower for some reason. I don't know.
No, it's interesting though, because I understand what he's talking about is like for stability, it's helpful having your feet lower. The higher your feet are, the more likely you are to just roll out of the boat, or roll around.
I mean, Aaron, I wouldn't run Cherry Creek with this frame. Let's put it that way. But it's really good for a lot of stuff. It's not perfect. It's just really good.
That's the problem. I need the perfect frame. I need to get one.
Yeah, no, that's you can debate that for hours. So I'm going first. Birdie's going second. I have a paddler today. A friend of mine who's a kayaker who has a hurt shoulder that just wanted to go. So she's paddling. And this is initiation on the wind. This is kind of the big first raptor on the wind. And it was a pretty juicy flow. Like, it wasn't big water, but it's bigger than other wind footage I've shown in the past. It was really nice having a paddler to make just little adjustments too.
Did you ever switch sides, or did she stay on the left the entire time?
She stayed on the left the entire time. I did get a second paddler down the river when we had a swimmer who hit their head. So I had two paddlers for a while. So I eddy out here thinking, okay, these kayakers might need some safety. And then I'm looking upstream. I want to make sure I see them. Brody passes me here. So Brody gets ahead of me. He's like, hey, I'm coming down. There's not room for Nettie. I realize, like, I give her the throw bag just in case. But then I realize, like, if somebody swims here, there just isn't time to get to them. So once Brody passes me and I see the kayakers enter, I'm like, let's just head down. Like, we really can't do much, like, in this spot. There's just too much current, and we'll just make a bigger problem. So,
would you have given her the throw bag if you were to do it all over again?
No. I was thinking it through right there. I'm like, I was gonna have it, like, I was gonna keep us on shore and, like, the boat there and have her jump out and throw a bag. And then as I was thinking, I'm like, actually, this is, in my brain, I'm like, this is useless. Like, we're pulling a throw bag out just for show. This is not going to help, actually. So yeah, I would have actually probably not even stopped that eddy.
Mm-hmm.
I would have just gone down. I thought stopping the eddy was smart, and then I got there and, like, yeah, I really can't do much on this eddy. It's better if, like, there's two of us down below, really set up to help.
Could you have that makes sense. Could you have your life jacket sit lower on your waist? Could you loosen the shoulders and pull it down more? Is that as low as it can go?
I think that's as low as it goes.
Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, I'm all of a sudden not as big a fan of the Mustang Jeff. Like it's too high up on you. It needs to sit lower. You'll be way more comfortable. Your flotation will be more in the water if you take a swim. Better padding. Like, I'd want it to be like
2 or 3
inches lower.
I didn't mind it. Did you see the handle on the back too?
Yeah, no, I could see the handle. Yeah, no, I think that's just something that, like, yeah, I like when you can put them low on your.
I mean, I have a tall torso. I'm a tall guy, so the average person would probably be better, right?
But Zach, I feel like when I'm outfitting people's life jackets on commercial trips, always they're up too high, almost always, and they're, like, uncomfortable. And you loosen the shoulder straps, pull it down. Particularly if they got a little bit of a pot belly, pull it down over the pot belly so it sits below the pot belly.
Way better and safer. Way better and safer.
Yeah, exactly.
I wish that the shoulders were more adjustable. Again, this was designed by Swiftwater Rescue Teams to be like the ultimate Swiftwater jacket. And so
they don't have pot bellies, right? Don't a lot of those dudes have pot bellies?
They do, but they're not using them that much. They're throwing them on to throw throwbacks from shore. So right here, I see there's a kayak and a swimmer. Oh no, there's no swimmer. The kayak. So anyway, we have already passed. You probably can't see the video, but he had a pretty rough go. Like, at this point, he's missing. I'm looking up. You can't see in the video. He's missing 2 rolls, 3 rolls, 4 rolls. Rolls back up. A rock forces him back. He hits a rock and it rolls him back up. So that kind of happened. We're watching that. As soon as that happens, he goes into a hole and gets beat down.
So is there a reason why you pulled out when you did, Zach, instead of waiting until he was closer?
There he is, right there. And then you see him he's getting beat down the hole right now. Why I pulled out where what?
Why didn't you wait for him? Why did you pull out
upstream?
Soon? Yeah.
Well, because there's a bunch of kayakers there. Like, I don't need to be that close. And there's not really good eddies for me. Right? There's not great eddies to pull over.
You look like you're that 180 at the top, I guess. That's why I was curious why you.
I could have tried really hard to catch the eddy, but there's a nice big eddy here now where I can just really be here and be stable. And so his kayak's coming down, and my first instinct is go out and get the kayak, because the kayakers, there's some competent ones, but they're already struggling. There's a rapid around the corner. So I'm getting ready to go get the kayak. I mean, they might have gotten it over, but then I realized the swimmer is up on river left, and I should be swimmer transportation. and Brody's downstream. So like I'm going to go for the kayak, and I'm like, oh man, there's this. Let me put the swimmer in the raft, and then let them deal with the kayak. But there's a rapid right there. I'm like, the kayak could go for a mile or two here if they don't get it over the shore. So he swims the shore, and now he's just on the shore down there. You see him, and I'm like, all right, cool. Let's just hang out until he feels like he's ready to jump in the boat. We'll take him downstream. If the raft isn't here, this is an epic, right? Like walking him down the shore is gonna take a long time.
Yeah. You can't hike out from this side easily, can you?
No. Okay, so here time passed. I have him in the raft, and they actually got his kayak to shore, like just at the entrance of this next rapid. And the line in this rapid is right. So they're on the left there, but the line is to the right. So I got my stuff stuck on this rock just so I could we're coming down. I'm like, let's just get stuck so we can survey the scene, take our time, like come up with a plan. But then we were pretty stuck actually. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the main video. Do you have comments to go over? Not much.
I'd be careful about using chapstick depending on what it has in it. Because like some petroleum products actually they wear down gaskets and stuff like that. You know, like sunscreen's bad for gaskets, like your latex gaskets and stuff like that. So I think that's an interesting use of the chapstick. But I would be like if it depends on the materials. If it's just like all natural and basically beeswax, sure. But if it's got a bunch of other stuff in it, like a lot of those chemicals will deteriorate the rubbers and the plastics. So
like I've used for my watershed bag when it's super sticky, I don't have 303. I've used olive oil and stuff like that, or sunscreen. A mistake.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do that again. Like sometimes when you're super desperate to close your watershed bag, and I'll just lubricate it with whatever I have. It's not always the smartest thing. So kayakers get off, and then there's two kayakers upstream on the right that don't really know where to go because the kayakers know the run are here, and there's two more kayakers that don't really know where to go. So I'm doing my best to show them where to go, but they're not really watching. So I'm like, I don't know. I told them as I went by, hey, the line in the next rapid is right, eddy out right, and then so we're basically Brody's downstream. Brody's like, there's eddy below here. He's like downstream safety, and then we're heading down. It's pretty much it.
Wait, what did you do with this kayak?
They got his kayak to shore right there. I brought him to.
Oh, he jumped out. He jumped out. Sorry, I didn't see him jump out.
Yeah, we basically went in. He jumped out, and then we made this ferry over to make this next rapid. Down where Brody was. This was the first of 3 kayak swims this day. One of them, somebody hit their head, and it was another interesting dilemma. Whether we go ahead or stay behind. Who do we go after? But I don't have a video here.
You want to? We got getting way behind on comments too.
All right, that's pretty much all the video. So we'll go through comments and.
Oh, okay.
Bashing of the it doesn't make much sense to me. No, I feel perfectly adequate bashing it for lack of versatility. It's a one-trick wonder. It's a 3-to-1 system that actually the pulley it can't be used as just a pulley. It's a pulley that grips the rope, so it's not versatile at all. And that same thing that the tib lock is not that versatile. And there's videos if you can Google like Petzl tib lock breaking rope, like where people use the tib lock and the tib lock pulls the sheath off of ropes. So this is super specialized stuff that all it can really do is a 3-to-1 for a light boat. So I'm super happy bashing it for light conversion for what it's made for ice rescue. So for that it's awesome, but for river rescue, I think it's silly.
And I think that's a good point, Zach. I was worried about like you talked about that locking thing, like sand. You know, there's sand everywhere. Sand gets in everything on the river, and some of us are really diligent and clean, but still sand gets everything. I worry about sand getting in that mechanism, that locking mechanism, and screwing it up, so it won't move properly.
Maybe.
And I just like.
I mean, that's like $400 worth of really high-end hardware that does one thing. When and the one thing is typically equipment retrieval, right? The real thing, if you're really going to do river rescue, actually rescue people, it's probably not going to be with a 3-to-1. It's going to be a tension diagonal, some sort of like system to like get a foot entrapment done, right? So, right, Aaron? Like when you're saving people, it's typically not a 3-to-1. It's typically you don't need mechanical advantage to actually pull people out typically. Like where rescue ropes and pulleys and things for saving people's lives get used for things other than 3-to-1. The 3-to-1 is really useful for pulling really hard on a stuck raft. It's a stuck raft. I don't call that rescue. I call that equipment retrieval, right? So this is a $400 piece of stuff that's only good for equipment retrieval, but is pretty useless for the rest of actual river rescue.
And
sorry, I'm fired up.
I'll go back and I'll say things we've discussed before. Usually you don't need it. Usually deflate some tubes, pull here, pull there, and you're going to pop the boat off anyway. So you don't even need that stuff. So like investing that much money into something that like you're not going to use, it's like, man, there's a lot of other crazy things you're not going to use. I mean, you get one of those guns to shoot throw bags across the river or something like that. Bring that too. You know what I mean? Like that, you could probably get one of those for $400, and you could the throw bag guns. You know what I'm talking about, Zach? Have you seen those?
Yeah.
They'll shoot throw bags across. I mean, you could probably build one like out of a potato launcher. That'd actually be kind of interesting. Do you think you build a throw bag launcher like out of a potato, like potato gun style? You could stuff the throw bag down there and shoot it out real far.
There's all kinds of specialized rescue stuff people can carry. There's that rope that attaches. There's that rope that attaches to other ropes or whatever. Here's the NRS Deluxe adjustable.
That makes me uncomfortable. I don't think that. I think I'm going to bend that thing. I'm going to torque it around too easily. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, I'm with you. Oh, actually, it's interesting.
The leverage on that, you'll bend that thing. You'll just like, yeah.
I've seen people with these. Shoot, I can't look up the right thing. But anyway, I've seen people with these. They're heavy. It's a lot of extra metal too. And so people that typically have this set up on their cap frame or raft, their setup is pretty heavy too. All right, let's close this. Get some questions. I'm moving on. Oh, dude, those Adidas shoes are the bomb. I have a lot of gear garages to catch up with, some stuff I've been reviewing. But Aaron, I got the new Adidas.
Yeah.
Oh, there. The new Adidas River shoes, they're $65. They're $65. Can you hear me?
Yeah, totally. I'm in agreement. Can you hear me? Yeah. Oh yeah.
We might be losing the show. I'll go on. Yeah, my internet here sucks. But the Adidas shoes are the best shoes I've ever had. Great sticky rubber. Yeah. I wore them on the wind. I wore them on the West Fork, and I was jumping rock to rock. And like, man, these things grip. Like, it was noticeably better than the Astrals. They seem super durable. They look cool. They're easy to put on. They're just, when I put them on my dry suit, they just kind of went on comfortably right away. And they're $65. So I'll do a Gear Garage review on them.
Yeah. I'll say the Adidas shoes. Billy Prosser was the one who turned me on to those last summer. She's like, she's like, I bought these. They're holding up better than any shoe I've had. But she's like, the rubber's really good on them. I was like, really? And and it makes sense though, is like the 510 rubber was the best rubber. And if they're using that rubber, man, those were the best shoes. Like, they just would fall apart. So I'm curious, how long have the shoes been holding up? Are they starting to delaminate or fall apart on you, and how long you've been using them? Because that's my big concern. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I mean, I only wore them 2 days.
Okay. So they give them some time, because I think that's the key.
I only wore them 2 days.
Yeah.
But they're $65, Aaron. I don't like disposable things, but I mean, it's less than Astrals. They're ridiculous. And for those of you who don't know, I'm going to pull it up here. Share just so people can see these shoes. I am 100% sold on these shoes. And I was a hater. I'm like, there's no way they're cool. Is it coming up? There we go.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, there's no way these are any good. They're only $65. They're Adidas, so they should cost more. Honestly, these should cost $150. They're that good. That white part, that big rubberized rand around the outside is bomber. So
it looks solid. It doesn't look like it's going to delaminate as quickly as some of the other ones. That looks like a great shoe. Yeah.
And they have flat laces. And the flat laces, I'm just going to say, are nicer than round laces. I'm not sure why. they lace just everything about them. I'm just like, these are the best. So thanks for asking, Blue Puma.
And it looks like you could wear them out to the bar afterwards and be cool.
You could do that with Astrals too. So like,
that's
but
true.
Yeah,
the Astrals are cool
like,
there too, but the old 510s, yeah,
you couldn't wear the bar.
Those.
Or like Choco. You guys can wear Chocos, but like these are actually cool. You can put a pair of jeans on and go to the bar and fit in. You won't look like a river guide.
Hey, this weird comment. Have you ever heard of that exercise program P90X? It was a fad a while back. Some guy, the P90X exercise program. Well, my friend was showing it to me, and the guy was wearing a pair of the 510 river tennies.
Down, everyone.
Which is bizarre to me, but anyways.
Aaron, I think we're losing connection again.
Totally.
What were we talking about?
Don't worry about it. Nothing worth talking about. Let's just move forward. Okay. I think we should probably call it soon because it is the reception's just definitely getting bad, and yeah, let's close it up here pretty soon.
Yeah. So the Mustang. Am I back? I just noticed our Wi-Fi went down. So the Mustang 50 is. I don't love rowing in it, but it has 25 pounds of flotation. I don't know what has 25 pounds of flotation. I would love rowing. It was a little bit like I felt a little bit stiff in it. The oars like shipping by it wasn't like the PFD was in the way. Like I felt a little stiff, but it wasn't bad. I mean, it's the best 25-pound flotation vest I know of.
I'm gonna say if they made those shoulder straps longer, I think you'd feel way less stiff in it too.
If it's that lower.
Yeah.
I'll mention that because they might take that PFD, take off all the nerdy stuff, like all the handle.
Yeah, I'll buy it. I'll buy it.
Like
I'll buy it. Give me 26 pounds, 25, 26 pounds of flotation. Yeah, give it. Yeah, I'd buy it.
Make it colorful, and then so they wouldn't have to recertify it if they just took off all the nerdy stuff. But if they change the shoulders, they might. So to me, I'm like, hey guys, just make this in like a normal bright color, not like fluorescent yellow on black. We don't need all of the mole stuff, and then the zippers go up, and I think they should go down.
Yeah.
Right,
down to close. Down to close.
A couple times I've noticed down to close. Yeah, so like a couple of minor things, but then I think with that they might have a killer PFD. So again, it wasn't. Aaron, let's shut this down while we still have service.
Sounds good.
So everyone, I'm in Reno, Nevada on a bad Wi-Fi connection. I'll be back next week at the normal place.
Yeah. So thanks for watching Zach and Aaron's maybe mediocre rafting show today. Maybe we hit mediocre at the end. We kind of pulled it down at the end with your service. Zach, it's gotten bad. But you guys, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate your comments, and we'll be back next week. Is that right, Zach? We'll be around.
Yeah, I'll be back in Hood River. We'll, no more weird things. Vacation's over.
Yeah, so clearly we're back onto wind footage. So if you have any footage, please send to Aaron at riversnotions.com. If you have any questions, or you see any other footage you want us to check out, let us know. Zach, great time today, and have a good one. And if you haven't hit that like button, please like, subscribe, do all those cool things. Help Zach with the algorithm do better and get us seen by more people. So you have to email
Aaron if you have any videos.
Yes.
Good to see you, Aaron.